Hello everyone, my name is Mitz, and here we are back at Higurashi when they cry. So everyone still has their roles in this plan, and each of them are doing their part, and actually making it better in some cases. While Toмотaki is still looking to find information to whether to prove or disprove Takano's innocence the entire plan, he's found out that she is a million yen rich from Koizumi, whether it's from Will or just he gave the money over to her just when he was still alive, just to help with the planning, honestly. And with Eri and Akasaka pretending that Rika and Sadako are still sick, and making an astonishingly good plan of using the phone rings to indicate if there's an emergency or not, to discreetly get past the wiretapping, and along with Rika, Hanyo, Keiichi, and the rest of the Demon Club, thinking of ways of how to attack Takano's plan at its very core, the emergency manual, which again, it all rides in the fact about Rika dying. And if they can get Oishi on their side, and Hanyo doing a good job of manipulating him, like all the times he manipulated us, then if Oichi's on their side, they can actually manage to fake Rika's death in some capacity. Well, they're just making a fake announcement that that she's dead, or just somehow just making a new body to literally just flip it back around her and give Takano taste her own medicine. That'd be just as good. And honestly, just from last episode, I realize exactly one aspect of the story which I do like a lot of Rika forgetting everything that happened last installment. Because to me, it almost feels like this whole process of when you're trying to heal, or you're trying to get better with your life, but then sometimes you have to keep getting reminders, honestly. Sometimes you get a revelation, and then a few days later, or like a bit down the line, you forget about it and have to relearn it over again. It's like a process of getting it like a breakthrough in your own life, and then slowly forgetting about it, then have to get reminders and again and again. It it just it just is a cool detail, honestly. I don't know if it's like I'm there just for dramatics or not, but honestly, I still like the details put in. That's how I take it. And even if it's not, I still love just finding out that Ryukishi, like when people had so many interpretations of the story, he encourages it. He really encourages it. I haven't looked up anything, mostly just from spoilers and all that, but I've been following along with Bob Vid's discussions of Higurashi, that little book club on his other channel, and my gosh, there's a lot of good stuff in there. It's a lot. There's so many good stuff, honestly. And now I'm just thinking that I'm actually curious whether or not that Higurashi was inspired by Silent Hill in some way, or what inspired Ryukishi to make the story of him set in the small town with the disease going on. I'm actually kind of curious because the game does take place did get released a year after Silent Hill 2. So it might be there, and it does feel like it's sometimes just how Bob Viz talked about it. There's some similarities, at least some vibes, honestly, that Higurashi goes along with, which is honestly really fun and it's really great. But I'm just kind of curious of what inspired him. I know he made Hinamizawa Bus Stop as a play just to I guess to as a play testing ground to sort out ideas first before making this giant 8 installment series, honestly. But yeah, I'm actually kind of curious where he got the inspiration from. I'll probably ask the same thing when Yumineko is done, but gosh dang it, what is the next best thing? Oishi, you better fucking follow along with the goddamn plan. Listen, forget about your retirement mortgage plan. This is what you've been preparing for several time loops and timelines already. You've seen so many other characters die, and now here you are, just planning to literally just foregoing your own safety and all that. It makes sense, but still, The preparation for tomorrow's festival is moving right along at the Furude Shrine. Vans and pickup trucks are bringing in tents and equipment. The village youth group and some middle-aged men are unloading them. And I just realized, is the the Okinoji gardeners actually here as well to pretend to get up and set up some plants on the festival too? Because that'd be also cheeky if so. That'd be very cheeky. I won't harass them. I heard Rika-chama is really sick. I hope she's okay. I heard she didn't go to school again today. I hope she gets better soon. Ah, Dr. Eri. How is Rika-chama doing? Well, she had a bad cold, but she's starting to get better. Just still needs to take it easy, though. I just want to see them, and told them to stay in bed. I see. Sadako-chan is sick too, huh? You better, like, say you have a revelation now, because that's the one thing I'm curious now if that carries over from the last installment. If everyone actually remembers that, or actually is actually, worried about Sadako now too. But both of them staying home and sick together, I'm sure they can't help but play around. Considering they got sick at the same time, Rika-chan and Sadako-chan are really close, huh? Ah, Kimiyoshi-san! Dr. Iri just told us that Rika-chan and Sadako-chan are starting to get better. Oh, I see. That's good. By the way, about tomorrow's performance, you don't think she'll be able to do it, do you? She said she's going to anyway. If you asked her, I'm sure she'd be more than happy to oblige. As a doctor, even if she didn't have a fever today, I'd rather not let her do it. Oh, that's no good. Ah! Oh! Oreo-san! Oh my good god, and I can't believe I never thought of Oreo-san. Oh, the memes I've missed out. The memes I've missed out in this fandom. God damn it. Rika-chama's getting better, but she still has to stay in bed. Oh, hi. Oh my god, it's been so long since I actually seen your sprite. God damn it. Well then, we can't force her and then see her collapse during the ceremony. People say it's the curse of Yushiro-sama. Well, the villagers are really worried. They say there might be a curse again this year. Besides, it's Sadako Hojo-chan and Rika-chama, you know? Some people are imagining some really horrible things. Nitwits! Rika-chama is the reincarnation of Yushiro-sama. If she was cursed, the whole village would perish. Don't even suggest things like that. Like, did your clique only tell Rika's, Rika's family about that and not even the Sozakis? I think it's only just the Fruity family, but man. Like, I'm assuming that's also in the legend as well, so, No, you're right, I'm sorry. Dr. Iri, can I go see them? Please let them rest for a while. They're recovering, and they're at an age where they want to play. Someone visiting them would be too stimulating, and they're sure to get out of bed. I see. I guess I shouldn't, huh? I mean, you have plenty of experience of resting in your own bed for a long period of time, so... Doctor, please take care of them, alright? Not just Rika-chan, but Sadako-chan too. I see it! I see it! That one line! Really? That's surprising. Maria-san always acts as if she doesn't even see Sadako-chan, and she said it out loud in the middle of this festival too. But she just asked me to take care of Sadako-chan too. Sure, absolutely. I'll make both Rika-chan and Sadako-chan better. You can count on me. You say that, then a few days later, if the plan goes right, then they'll both be called, quote-unquote, dead. And, everyone's gonna start screaming at you. Oh, good god. If something happens, people say it's the curse of Yushiro-sama. Hey, Dr. Iri, don't you think it's foolish to talk about things like curses when we're in the 1980s, when people have gone to the moon? Yes, I do. To the damn conflict, we use stories like that for our own needs. Yes, propaganda. Yay. The damn conflict is over now. As long as we keep talking about the curse, the damn conflict will never end. Are you saying that if Sadako-chan dies, people say that's the curse of the damn conflict? The damn conflict is over. If Village Key gets a cold, it's the elder's job to worry about her, that's all. I already know what Oreo-san wants to say. Look, she's implying it, but she can't say it completely outright. She hasn't completely changed too much of that, but I'll take it. I'll take it. You're one bad cookie, but you're slowly becoming fresher again. I want her to actually say it, but if I made her, she might get angry. Yes. This is more than enough for now. When she talks about the Dan conflict, she doesn't just mean the war they waged against the construction itself. She's also including how the Hojo family was ostracized after it was over. She's saying that the Dan conflict is over, including everything that happened as a result of it. And that's why she told me to take care of Sadako-chan. I'm sure Sadako-chan will appreciate your concern. How'd that little rascal ever understand an old person's feelings? Oreo-san left, laughing. I wasn't the only one watching her leave. Kimiyoshi-san and some other elders did the same. They all understand what Oreo-san wanted to say. That was her way of saying, get your fucking acts together, you goddamn elderlies. The damn conflict is over now. Sadako-chan is a healthy girl. She's down with a fever, must be a terrible cold. Dr. Erie, please take care of them. Since we aren't allowed to visit them, please let both of them know how worried we all are. Sure. They'll be happy to hear that. I vowed to myself. Takano-san is more than likely planning something for tomorrow, taking advantage of people's belief in the curse. I can't let that happen. The curse of Oyashiro-sama will end before it can happen for a 5th time. I'm sure of that. So that means it's gonna end in the 4th year? The number which means death? Wow. Oishi couldn't accomplish the 48-hour operation alone. Oh, this is... you go to a baseball game with someone to talk to them? Okay. He would need help from someone else. Oishi called up both Kumagai and the old man from forensics and told him everything. I know I'm repeating myself. There's a dangerous bridge we're crossing here. Are there even any bridges around here? You can't really burn them either, so, if I get some warning, that's okay. But if I get reprimanded, they'll probably take away my pension. Music, marching band, let's go. Hey, Oishi. You always gather your colleagues at the mahjong parlor next door and threaten them every time you have a dangerous mission. This is the same old thing, right? But now you're at a baseball game instead. It means it's even more doubly serious. Oh, hi. Yeah, Oishi-san. Why don't you say, if you don't want to lose your pension, leave while I count to 10 with more oomph in your voice like you usually do. Let's just say it that way. It just doesn't sound right. Well, this is seriously dangerous, Kuma-chan. Are you really prepared to lose your pension? Why don't you count to 10 then? Fine, I'll count. If you don't want to lose your retirement money, leave it before I count to 10. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I gotta Kuma-chan, you're serious. But still, are you sure you're okay with it? Yes, I'm really psyched up from what I heard from Akasaka-san the other day. Yeah, he was there for that, so he pretty much already knows about all of it, so yeah. I became a policeman because I believe in justice. Just ice. Someday, I want to be able to talk about the things I've been through, like Akasaka-san does. A dangerous mission? That sounds fantastic. Living life on the edge. Besides, your ideas had never failed before. Well, one idea was wrong, but everything else was, yeah. So if you think this operation will succeed, then I'm all for it. How nice it is to be young, creaking moans. You know, Akasaka-kun's become quite the inspiration for him. He's talking about how he wants to be involved in secret investigations now. Well, it is nice to be young, I guess. Envious, jealousy. And what about you? I'm in. Actually, unless I help you, this operation won't succeed. I've been neglecting my health all these years, but frankly, I don't think I have much longer to live. As a man, I want to do something grand before I die. My. You two sure are fearless. That's why you declare a reach even with 3-foot Dora. What are you saying, Oishi-san? As a man, I can't refuse. If you're gonna cut something, cut it right in the middle. What? That's what you always say. Cut it right in the middle. I don't think I ever heard that phrase. He's not wrong. I get it. If you're next, end up in the line, I'll be responsible. I'll have to make some preparations first. I'll get our death certificates ready. You want to start this early tomorrow morning, right? I have to check with both forensics and the autopsy department. Oishi, when all this is over, they treat me to something big, okay? Of course. Look forward to it. But please, make sure to be careful who you talk to, alright? They told me there are some spies at the police station. Oh, don't worry. I know who I can trust. Count on me for that, at least. Alright, I'm all fired up. Detective spirit is burning bright, like a light bulb. I'd taken Oishi all night to come to a decision, but those two decided immediately. He couldn't help but question himself. Man, I can't believe it. I'm way too old, but too young at the same time. Okay, I have some errands to run, so I'm gonna get going. Kuma-chan, could you please take the old man home? Now you were coming here on your day off. Nah, don't worry about that. It's been a while since something got my blood boiling. In all the years of my life, this is the first big stage to really test my manhood. I'm not afraid, I'm gonna enjoy this. Thank you very much, old man. Did he replace the former manager in your eyes? Kuma-chan too. Oishi thanked them after seeing them off, although they couldn't hear. Of course you say deliberately under your breath. Oishi stopped by a flower shop. He bought a banquet of balloon flowers. Balloon flowers? Never heard of those. Usually the purple ones are the most popular. And Oishi was fond of that color too. Purple's a good color. But today, he didn't buy purple flowers, I swear, if you buy white ones. I got unusual white balloon flowers instead. Oh, good God. I think I heard that white flowers, like, when you usually symbolize and put at people's funerals, if I got that right, in Japanese culture. Oh my good gosh. The banquet in hand, he headed to the cemetery across from the flower shop. Oh. The date was June 18th. The real anniversary would be tomorrow, but as Oishi had to work on Wanto Nagashi every year, he usually commemorated it on the previous day instead. It was the day before the anniversary of the death of the old man, the one Oishi considered a best friend, or brother, and father. Every year, I promise you they'll find your right arm, but I still haven't had any luck yet. Oishi spoke to the grave. He laid the banquet of white balloon flowers down on top of it. But I finally got the chance to get close to the truth. You know, it's kind of funny. As it turns out, the Sonozaki family has nothing to do with it. I kept promising you year to year that I'd bring Oreo here and have her grovel an apology, but I was so wrong this whole time. I don't know what to say. You'd probably smack me if you were here. I thought I knew the winning tiles, and after countless safe discards, I got slammed with a bad hit. If I had made the assumption and focused on filling my hand, then I might have been able to get a big one. I haven't made any progress at all. It's the same with Mahjong. I'm a fool for getting ideas in my head and then not doubting them even a bit. Oishi already had a vague idea. The way Eerie had phrased it, he could already guess. There was no dark secret behind the old man's dismemberment murder. The events that followed were separate incidents. That particular murder was an individual incident, had nothing to do with anything else. It was just a combination of it was all the big conspiracy, complete coincidence, and a tiny bit of supernatural still. Since the main culprit was the only one who wasn't caught, Oishi needed someone to blame. The mysterious Sonozaki family was the perfect target. The drama of revenge that Oishi believed in never existed. No. I'm thinking of doing something really dangerous. Because in the risk, there isn't much in terms of reward. If anything, I might find out the truth. But I feel I can finally forgive myself. Oishi bowed deeply to the grave. And then he heard footsteps behind him. It had to be someone else who knew the old man. That person can't come the day of Wanto Nagashi every year either, so they can't come on the day before, just like Oishi does. They always bring blue hydrias. Purple balloon flowers and those blue flowers don't go well together. That's the reason why Oishi always picks white ones. Usually the hydrias are always there by the time he arrives. As Oishi had his secret meeting with Kumagai early in the morning, he came straight to the graveyard afterward and arrived before this person did. Visiting a grave isn't a race. It's a spiritual matter. Oishi was curious about the other person who brings flowers every year, so looked up. I can't begin to... Oh. Aw. Well, well. You're visiting someone's grave too? Oishi said the obvious. Hi, Akane. Hi, Shion. But from the one glance, he could guess everything. Upon seeing the hydrias in her arms, it all made sense. Oh my. Aren't you supposed to be working? What are you doing here? I come here to give flowers to the grave while you're working so we don't interact. Akane Sonozaki laughed as she handed a bouquet of hydrias to her daughter, Shion. What's that in her hands, actually? I'm curious. Shion, not knowing what to do, was caught between her mother and Oishi. I'm assuming still that everything that happened to Miyakashi between happened with Shion and Oishi must stop in the same. Just minus the whole fact of him growing insane bit, so. How long are you gonna stand there? Come on, move over. I need to put these flowers down. They're better than yours. Oishi moved over as told. and spoke. So you're the one leaving hydreas every year. Aren't they beautiful? They're from my backyard. Hydreas are beautiful in June. Your bloom flowers are fairly unusual. Mine are better again. White ones this time, huh? They're nice. Ah, Mr. Oishi, excuse me. Can I put the flowers down? Shion knelt down in front of the grave and got the flowers ready. She put the hydreas in the vase alongside the balloon flowers. The flowers looked beautiful in the vase together, reminding their onlookers that summer was with a start. What a coincidence. They matched very well. It makes a nice contrast with the white and the blue. I saw blue hydreas every year I came. I thought blue flowers wouldn't go well with purple ones. I see. Then we should get along just fine, huh? Yeah, I guess. What's the matter? Anything usual in the x-rays? You're being unusually quiet today and it's disturbing. X-rays? Okay. Oh, do you think that might be it? Since you've been good to us, I'll bring some hydreas to your grave too, don't worry. Okay. Oh, by the way, you still owe us at one of our shops, don't you? Oh my good god. Wait, I thought you hated someone like you so much. Why did you get flowers at one of their shops too? Okay. I'll bring a bill too. Oh boy, you two never run out of things to say, do you? Well, I don't plan on leaving this world quite yet. It won't be long until my retirement, but I'm still going strong. That's good then. An assistant of Okonomiya, I'm glad to hear such reliable words. The conversation should have been coded in social courtesies, yet something felt a little off about it. Can you tell me one thing? The guardians, the old man, the site manager, they didn't get along, did they? So why bring flowers for him? No, we didn't get along at all. It's just courtesy. We were mighty enemies. Right, Shion? Yeah, that old geezer was a bastard to piss me off. I bit him, I elbowed his stomach, and I even scratched up his car with a 10-yen coin. Casually saying this over his grave. This is, oh my god, this is... Shion, the statute of limitations isn't up yet. Be quiet, you. Shion stuck out her tongue and hid behind her mother in embarrassment. We're not going to jail for this just yet. If you hate him so much, why do you come here? Well, the damn conflict is over. Although he was our enemy, we did many unpleasant things to him too. What? You don't get it? The war is over now. Even a rugby game, once a game is over, no one is on opposing sides. Nothing more than that. Akane said it was though it was a normal thing, but Oishi just couldn't understand. First of all, they hate each other. They hate each other, they spat at each other. How could they even feel like bringing flowers to his gravesite? However, Akane said it was normal. Their moral standards weren't matching up. Actually, you're the one I can't understand. Well, that's quite on the nose. I think the damn conflict has ended. In your head, it's still going, isn't it? Oh no, it's over for me now. I can't even imagine hearing all that noise anymore. You gotta be kidding me. What noise? The cicadas crying into your ears saying, Oishi, stop it. You're making things worse. Stop! Then what's wrong with the Sonozaki family visiting his gravesite? Come on, move over. I brought something for him too. Akane took out a small package from her bag and put it down in front of the grave. I see the package every year. What's in it? This is ohagi, specially made by the Virago. Drinkers usually don't like sweets, so she made them without sugar. Are you saying that Oreo-san made ohagi for the site manager's anniversary? She does it every year. You did just say that you see her every time you come here, didn't you? You see it every time. Oishi was stunned. Oreo was the biggest hardline in the Onikafuchi Guardians, no question about that. Oishi had believed for a long time that she was the mastermind behind the old man's murder. Because of that, he just couldn't believe that she had been making ohagi every year for his anniversary. Hey, don't give me that look. Let's not do this anymore, okay? Do what? Stare icy daggers between each other. Pretend that the Sonozaki family shouldn't visit the site manager's grave. It won't be long now until it's 1990. It's a new decade. By then, even the Emperor might be dead. How much longer are you planning to drag out this war, which has already ended? Please. I don't even want to think about the damn conflict. There's nothing better than peace. The government was at fault. They should think about what they've done. But we were at fault too. That's why we have regrets. When things are done, that's it. There's no point dragging them out. We need to wrap up the era of our forefathers. Young people need to create a new one. What happened was very unfortunate, and I regret that the old man had to die. If he was still alive, we could have shared a toast together and made up. But he's dead, so we can't reconcile. Everything's very sad. Well, that's what happens when someone dies. But you're still alive. That's right. I am. And so are you. Then maybe a day will come when we can get along, huh? Well, I don't know about that. It kind of almost happened on the 6th installment. Almost. But, you know. Shion, why don't you go give this to the priest? Then wait in the car, okay? We grown-ups have to talk to each other. Sure. Akane took out an envelope from her pocket and gave it to Shion. Shion took the envelope, bowed to Oishi, then ran off. During the damn conflict, I thought she was such a feisty little girl. She sure has grown up. How long do you think it's been since then? She's at puberty, and we even went bra shopping together. She isn't a little girl anymore. That's how long it's been. Yeah, many years have passed. Time is dense for young people, but diluted for old folks. The old ones are the ones who don't change. But young people will keep growing. Before we know it, they pass us by. Then we simply withdraw ourselves and watch over them. See how it works? Yeah, I guess. I can't believe I'm getting a talking to from the demon princess of Shishibone, Akane Sonozaki. Oh hey, I can't believe you still remember that name. It's a sick name. Why would you ever forget it? I'm a lady Shishibone nowadays, you know. I appreciate it if you kept that name to yourself. Yeah, I guess since the damn conflict is over now, huh? That's right. It's still a sick name. Keep it in passing, please. Keep it in passing. It's all over. The two of them watched Shion and the priest exchange words in front of the main temple building. Both were silent. The air between them was comforting. There was no breeze, and a cabbage-white butterfly flittered around them. You're supposed to be at work. That's what you're so concerned about all of this. Like, again, this whole entire conversation is really nice. It was really nice. It wraps up a lot of different things and talks about him getting over, like, Oishi's, like, you know, small grudge, but still, you're supposed to be at work. We're not supposed to see each other. My God. But how about around? Up for some cold, fresh sake? Maybe not today. I have the drive, and so do you, right? That's too bad. Well, maybe next time, huh? Yeah, next time. Something that had been sitting inside Oishi for a long time had started to dissipate. Something that had coagulated was melting away. I better get going. Your daughter's waiting too, right? Yep, she is. We've gone through a lot, but let's forget about it all. How about that? We'll have a party one of these days. We will. Akane turned around with a big smile on her face. But all of a sudden, it changed to an impish grin. It's the runs of the family. Hey, Officer Oishi. Since we meet up just now... Oh my gosh, manipulation, I love this. I got a traffic ticket yesterday, and I was so mad that I ripped it in half. Do you think I can do something about that? Just go to the nearest police station for that. Maybe I can give you a priority spot in the waiting line. What are friends even for, huh? Their laughter echoed into the blue sky. That conversation was really fun, though. That was really nice. Oh, I thought that was Akasaka's phone for a second. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck happened, Eri? Thank you for waiting, Nomura-san. No, Sorry. We're actually gonna learn more about Nomura? Please? Please? At the moment, I'm talking to him over the phone. So, how's everything going? Going well. The festival's tomorrow. I see. That's good. First Lieutenant Tomitaki will get into an accident tomorrow night. H-173, the medicine which is supposed to be destroyed, will be administered to him. No matter what happens, it'll be a very pitiful end. I wonder if you, like, again, you got that whole verbal tick from her, honestly. So. What an interesting opening. We've already finished our forgery of the proceedings. I'll show that Lieutenant Colonel Erie was trying to sell your research to a foreign country so that he can continue it. And Tomitaki's murder is part of that. Yes. That will be the first step for the board of directors to become suspicious of the Erie Institute. We're taking care of all that, so don't worry. Have we actually learned of, like, how part of the plan of, Erie was framed from, trying to sell the plans to a different country just to continue it? Have we actually heard that anywhere else? This is the first time, because wow. Huh. Also, regarding that, what should we do if it happens? If what happens? I mean, what if First Lieutenant Tomitaki agrees to join us? He isn't included in the takeover operation, is he? Well, no, because he's an auditor for the board. If he becomes our ally, that might be beneficial to us. According to our analysis, if he even changes allegiance, there won't be much for us to gain. Why add another necessary worry to the operation? You're right. Well, at least you actually, like, gave the question over, but, that, again, just leaves the whole thing open, then, Takano doesn't realize, what is the benefit for her being around then, so, yeah. You're right. Sorry about that. I thought we might be able to use him for something, which is why I suggested it. I can't tell if this is the first time you're actually asking us in the loops, or you always ask this every single time before, you asked Mataki the same question anyway, so, huh. We'll go with the original plan, then. I think that might be better. I'll get in touch with you again. Goodbye. I'm just making Nomura's voice just a deeper version of Takano's, honestly. Hopefully it doesn't makes it weird. For a while, I kept holding the telephone receiver, lost in thought. Then I put it down, and dialed a number that I had become very familiar with. Hello, Economy Hotel Kinomiya, how may I assist you? Hello, could you take me to room 406, the one belonging to Tomitaki? Please tell him Takano is calling. Sure, I'll connect you. One moment, please. The phone operator put me on hold, leaving behind only electronic music. Elevator music, yay! I waited for about a minute, and the operator came back on again. I'm sorry, the guest is in room 406, not his room right now. Would you like to leave a message? That's okay. I left a few of them. Do you know when he left the hotel? Do you know he'll need back? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't answer that. Good! I see. I'll call again. I put down the phone before the operator finished speaking. This is the third time I tried calling him. I left a message telling him to call me back, but he hasn't. Why? Is he out taking photographs by himself? Or is he waiting for me behind the shrine where we usually meet? Are you literally just heading over there now? Okay. Both of you already, like, tend to meet by the shrine. And I'm assuming that's nearby Rika's house. I wonder, like, she just, like, sees you going, a date there almost every single year. Who would think I would actually come all the way here, expecting him to be waiting for me? I might even surprise myself. People are in the middle of setting up tomorrow's festival. Tents are being put up for food stalls and preparations for various events are taking place. It's almost too noisy for me, with people shouting as they work, plus the noise and the batteries of the stalls. There were times, like, both of them actually did, like, meet up together, and, like, whether Keiichi actually came, like, you know, for the festival preparations, he actually meets them there, so, huh. Soon, I reached the back of the shrine before realizing it. This is probably the best view in the whole village. I second that. This is where Jiro's son and I usually meet. Just maybe he's waiting for me here. Of course, it's just wishful thinking. God will never grant my wishes. He only has a bit of fun by testing me. I look down the village below, letting the breeze flow through my hair. He usually follows me around while he stays in Hinamizawa. He persistently asks if I want to go out to eat, go for a walk, or take some photographs with him. For a second there, I thought you were talking about Yoshiro for a second, and I was like wondering, wow, you guys do a lot together. But he hasn't done any of that in this visit. His behavior towards me has changed. Maybe it's because he heard about the horrible impression I left with the new board of directors. Maybe he thinks I'm a mad scientist because of the incident. I can feel he's gradually losing interest in me. But I have my own complaints too. I don't want him around, he's so persistent. But I need him to listen to me. I can't get a hold of him. But if I did get through to him, what would I even talk about? What could I talk to him about? Right after talking to someone about the plan to assassinate him. Why should he even answer my call? I'm simply running wildly, and when I reach the point of no return, I'll want to be forgiven, and I want him to do that for me. Just because he always does whatever I want him to do, he shows up whenever I need him. Who would forgive someone like me? Someone who has nowhere to go but hell. Would he forgive me? Out of sympathy? No way. While he'd be surprised, he'll do his job and arrest me. I am a member of the SDF, after all, so what I'm doing is committing treason. I've been thinking about him a lot for the past few days. Probably still think he was a good way to go through the plan then. Just now, I realized something. He's not attractive at all as a man. Oh my good god. He has no sense of humor or good taste. Not even his photography. He has nothing. Absolutely nothing. Well, he has a belly, okay. Okay, you're gonna go down that route, okay. But there's nothing appealing about him. He doesn't care about my schedule. He's persistent, and when I treat him nicely because I'm in a good mood, he becomes even more persistent. There really is absolutely nothing good about him. Despite his age, he tells me things like how the last time he held a woman's hand was when he did folk dancing at some summer camp. All those years ago? Okay. Furthermore, he says those things that make me laugh. He's hopeless. That sounds like someone actually just wants to make you smile, but okay. But more than anything, I can't stand when he completely ignores my feelings. I want to be alone sometimes. I don't want to do anything sometimes. And he drags me out, completely ignoring how I feel. Do you even tell him about that? That's why, even when I'm exhausted and I don't feel like doing anything, I end up going with him, which makes me laugh. I always thought that just wore me out, yet I want him to drag me around. I'll probably never feel this way again, and yet he's not here. That's some complicated emotions right there. I hate him as a man. At the same time, I miss him. Do I really believe I don't want to spend time with him? Maybe I just got grown used to his abundant affection. It took me out on a day I didn't want to do anything. I was in a bad mood at first, but after a while, I started to feel better, and found myself having a lot of fun. If he was with me now, would he take me out to photograph his birds like always? Would he happily explain it all with his know-how, even though I didn't ask? That'd be very boring and troublesome, but that's what I honestly want right now. Do I see my grandpa in him? I love my grandpa. He gave me a purpose to live. I needed him. I loved Uncle Koizumi. He helped me with my dream. I needed him. After both of them died, maybe I just sought their aspects in him. Yeah, Am I starving for a protector? Maybe I'm so traumatized by my parents' accident that I need to have someone nearby to watch over me at all time. Maybe I'm still mature. It sounds like a tiny bit of going into codependency, a tiny bit, but no, it makes sense though. My inner child is throwing a fit because she can't put together a toy, saying that it's going to be broken anyway. She's going to break it herself. It won't be just my problem this time. It'll bring about huge, irreversible tragedy. So, your childhood self is like saying, is also like literally just playing God back then. Just building up some building blocks and some little Jenga piece, and all of a sudden like when your child itself is bored, like push it over and it's all gone now, destroyed without trace. Explosion sound effects. But that's the only way to prove the truth of my grandfather's work. That belief allowed me to prepare up to this point. In just a few days, the top members of the government will be scrutinizing my grandfather's article, and, terrified by the worst-case scenario he predicted, they'll regret canceling our research and neglecting countermeasures as they pass their final resolution. That's when my grandfather's article will become truth, his great work uplifted, his name carved into the pages of history. And now I'm actually just wondering, oh good gosh, actually, even like this all goes to plan, and and it sounds like you're content with not doing research anyway. Even when this plan goes down, and the whole rest of Tokyo, like whoever like Nomura is, like, you know, kills you off because you're your liability now. It almost feels like you'd be fine with that too, since now at least now you're like, you know, Hifumi's like, you know, work has been completely you know, actualized and validated now. That's all enough for you. And again, just sitting here like, what were you planning to do after all said and done? We're just planning to like use it as like use it to like give purpose to the rest of your life? I mean, it comes to the whole thing of like figuring out things for your own self, but at the same time, it does give like a good purpose for now. I'm just wondering what you plan to do on the side then. Like, did you actually like the, you know, photography with Totaki? Bird photography, or just humoring with that? Did you have any hobbies besides that, actually? Or did you just put all your eggs in one basket and just put it all into the research then instead? Because, like, wow. Wow. And then, you become a god. An eternal existence. And I will reveal the god worshipped as Oyashiro-sama to be the Hinamizawa syndrome. Cast them down to earth. I'm gonna complete the 5th year of Oyashiro-sama with Jiro-san's death. This was my own. I'll become the one who curses, not the one who is cursed. I'll be in a position to test, instead of being tested. I will ascend to godhood. Yeah, after you're dead. Then you will. Okay. Or you'll be seen as a demon then, either way. It's still almost a godlike, right? I'm gonna make the curse a reality. I'm gonna kick the god of this place off her throne. And then, grandfather and I will be together forever. Gods don't get tested. Fate doesn't test gods. That's what you think. No grief will separate us. I'll be with my grandpa forever. After that, we're gonna work on our research together in that study, filled with the smell of vermilion. Sweet, sweet, smelly chemicals. A scene from happier days. Grandpa's at his desk, writing down something. I'm in a good mood, lying my stomach on the carpet right behind him, while flapping my legs and humming a tune. I help him with his research by organizing his books as if I were playing with blocks. To return to those times is my only wish. Of course, if I could go back that far, I want my parents to be alive too. If I could play my grandpa's books, while listening to my mother cooking in the kitchen and my father flipping through his newspaper, that would complete my happy world. It would be my ideal childhood. That world doesn't have a door to the outside world. So I can't go over to my friend's house. Because if I did go to my friend's house, there wouldn't be anybody there when I returned. Nobody. Nobody. Because they all died in a train accident. So I don't want an outside world. I want to stay in my house with my parents and my grandfather. Oh good gosh, I'm getting... Oh my god, this is hitting me hard. Oh good god. You're like getting stuck in your own brain now. I am a doctor after all. I can analyze myself. I know that I'm wishing for is proof of my immaturity. But if I know that much, then why do I still long for a parental figure in Jiro-san? Just for that whole thing of comfort, honestly. Even as I plan an operation which includes his death, I'm still trying to hang on to him. If I'm going to betray people so I can become a god, then I should remain a villain until my final moments. But if I'd rather be a lonely little girl, then I should remain modest and humble until my final moments. Either way, if it is my way of life, nobody can criticize me for it. So you flip-flop back on the whole villain little girl thing, like, both times, a lot then. So, like, when you're not talking about, a grisly, the history of, the Hinamizawas and all that, and, the demon stuff, you tend to, like, sound quite normal, and sometimes a bit innocent. So, oh, is that the reason why it all comes from? I'm actually now wondering now a bit, like, you just, like, started, like, harboring more and more into your interest of, I guess, you know, the grisly past in Hinamizawa, the old rituals and all that, and start clinging to that way much more now. You start clinging to that and pushing, like, forward that feeling way much more to, like, pretend, like, be in the role as a villain sometimes. At the same time, no one will doubt it because, everyone's used to you having that right now, so, yay. Because if I believe it is right, then all I can do is go on without listening to such criticism. I still can't decide. So I want somebody to criticize me. Nobody's ever criticized my way of life. That's why I want to hear someone do it. I want someone to tell me my way of life is wrong. I want Jiro-san to tell me I've done such a stupid thing. I want him to slap me. Such masochistic desires speak a great deal as to how I'm rejecting my present self. Oh yeah, all of this sounds very much familiar. Oh good gosh. You're reminded now of another story that actually, like, goes full on to this idea of you didn't do anything wrong, but your guilt is saying, like, your guilt of not doing this or that before someone dies, or like you think someone is gonna die. It feels like you should be punished for something just so you can get this guilt out of your system. My good gosh. Am I really still longing for a parent? I'm too old to call myself immature. Even if I do, nobody else will. No matter how mature I am inside, people still treat me as a grown person. They'll say I possess an adult's responsibility and proper judgment, and that brought me this far already. Then I'll be judged before the devil. Will I still plead not to judge my immature self as a grown-up? Am I gonna act that pathetically, even in front of the devil? I'm already going to hell, yet I can't completely become a devil. I hate the idea of hell, yet I refuse to try and repent. My mind can only float in a lake of blood, drifting as I drown. If only Jiro-san was here. My mind would clear up as I played along with his insensitive chatter. Like, what happened in the other timelines, then, of, like, if you were if this is not new, this, like, for this loop, then was Tomotaki always busy around this time? So you couldn't really do anything with him? Is that why it led to that happening? Why isn't he around when I need him the most? This is the last chance I'll have to spend time with him. I hate how immature I am. I'm so insecure just because he isn't around. I found myself before the offertory box. I came here when the Erie Clinic's construction ended. The research of the Erie Institute was about to begin. I remember how bravely he challenged the god of this place. I was full of hope and ambition. Going through many hardships, I finally came this far. I even vowed I would become a god. I did so in front of the god of this place. I can vaguely recall my grandfather telling me a story similar to that. That's right. The story of the Tower of Babel. Oh yeah, no, that's a really good story. When there's only one language in this world, all people lived in one place with one will. In display of their authority, they started to build a tower that would reach heaven. God got angry because those people had forgotten how to show respect to him. He believed all of man gathered to commit such an affront because they all shared one language and one will. So communion was shattered. He was thrown in disorder, and they were given many different languages so they wouldn't be able to communicate with each other. Again? And again, still, like, like, I still like that story, but same, like, it's interesting and fun to listen to, but again, at the same time, just, when it goes to that whole thing, I'm just, like, wondering, wow, God was, very egotistical then, for that story. And as they couldn't communicate with each other, many left. The tower which challenged heaven fell to ruin. Something like that, anyway. I'm not sure what the lesson is. Yeah, I like... Is the story even supposed to have a lesson, anyway? But this is what my grandfather explained to me. Building a tower that reaches up to heaven is the greatest challenge for humans. There's also a challenge to God. And apparently if a god is not allowed to be challenged, then how can anyone grow? To challenge God was truly sinful, but as humans we couldn't help but test that untrodden peak. It's not easy to build a tower that's high enough to reach heaven. While they're building a tower, the people fall in disharmony and lose the mutual understanding they once started with. The united will is thrown into disarray. This applies not only just a group of people, but can be said about one person as well. No matter how solid their will, the closer they become to heaven, the more limits God imposes on man. So even iron wills are sure to waver at some point. It is just too arrogant for humans to think that they can always carry out their original intentions. That must have been what my grandfather was thinking deep down. Well, if you were thinking that, then made the Grand Tower of Babel, like, then literally just build it then horizontally instead of vertically. Go diagonally instead of straight upwards. Change with the times, but still go for the goal. Just go about it differently. I'm sure he lost hope many times since nobody ever recognized the value of his research. Yet he believed in himself, and he believed that someday his work would be appreciated. Maybe that was his wish, rather than reaching heaven. Grandfather realized he wouldn't be able to complete his research. Maybe he was trying to find where he can compromise. Humans can't build a tower that reaches heaven, but it made a rocket to go to the moon to reach the next best place, though. The story of the Tower of Babel is still around. Didn't reach heaven, but we still tell the story of the tower that challenged God. According to the story, the tower was behind with nobody to work on it. The incomplete tower stayed in that place for a long time, never achieving its goal. But if someone were to see it, they'd realize how great it was that someone accepted that challenge and praised their name. Or just have it just be a tower that's slowly over generations, people keep adding more and more to it until God literally just to say, literally just stop and destroys the tower itself. I took over the tower from my grandfather and tried to make it reach heaven, but I ended up succumbing to the same fate. If it's gonna be destroyed anyway, I'll try to destroy it myself. What am I doing, anyway? If I hadn't tried to continue grandfather's research, his work in Hinamizawa syndrome would have remained forever. Even if it was an empty tower that nobody ever visited, if somebody did come by, they would praise whoever attended the challenge. They would have praised my grandfather. I took over his work, and I built a tower even closer to heaven, which made God angry. The tower is now going to be destroyed. If that's how you're going to look at it, then I don't agree with that at all. The tower will become a pile of rubble, which again, that means it's on God's fault then instead. When the Erie Institute is shut down, all its records will be destroyed. My grandfather's wish for his work to be appreciated by someone will never be granted. I tried to make my grandfather an eternal existence, and I ended up making that an impossibility. How can I call myself Mio Takano? Instead of inheriting the 1, 2, 3 from my grandfather and continuing to count to 3, 4, I reduced it all to 0. If it wasn't for me, my grandfather's work would have remained an empty tower. It would have stayed in this world forever. Yeah, but the same way you mentioned, like, many different people were trying to hide anyway. And, the only thing that made you go bad about this whole tower thing is, you were trying to use it for, not what your grandfather actually wanted to be used. And that's what's making the tower crumble. That's what it is. You were going after you're trying to build from his foundation, but the materials you're using weren't compatible with it. But I ruined it. I did that. I can feel myself sweating. The sweat reminds me that I'd done something inexorable. When did I make a mistake? Where did I go wrong? It wasn't when I came here. It was before that. I started to walk down the wrong path long before that. If I put myself in my grandfather's spot, I know. My grandfather was working in a great challenge. He built a mighty tower. I'm supposed to continue to stand there and wait for someone to appreciate it. Grandfather definitely said he wanted his work to be truly valued by someone, into his death. But I misunderstood. Somewhere along the way, I made a wrong turn. I misinterpreted Grandfather's wish, and I ruined it. I ruined everything. I tried to make him an eternal existence, yet I destroyed him. Grandfather built an eternal tower, yet I razed it. Where did I make a mistake? What went wrong? It's obvious. My grandfather counted to 3, and with that, it was complete. I simply tried to do more with addition, and everything collapsed. And now all of it is ruined. I shouldn't have tried to count to 4. I shouldn't have done anything. Besides, Grandfather didn't even ask me to continue his research. Yeah. A little girl shouldn't play in this dark study. Go outside and play with your friends. I remember my grandfather telling me things like that. I refused, and I stayed in my study so I could help him. And eventually, he stopped telling me to play outside and just enjoyed having me in my company while he worked. But when he first met, he used to say things like that. Then, what? Living with Grandpa was the first mistake I made? No? Then what? When I escaped the orphanage, I shouldn't have called Grandpa. No, that's not even it either. I shouldn't have found a 10-yen coin. That, I don't even think that's not even a mistake on your part anyway. You, like, no matter what, you would notice and still call it anyway. No. No. I shouldn't have asked Grandpa to help me. It's not a crime to ask for help. Ah, now I remember. I know where I belong. What? I noticed something metal striking something else getting closer. It's getting closer and closer. I'm not allowed to fall asleep. I wasn't asleep, I just had my eyes closed, that's all. Sorry. Damn you. I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I'm sorry. Oh, good God, don't tell me you're thinking back to the orphanage now. Oh, good God. Come on. Damn it. Oh, good God. Oh, wow, don't kick. Don't kick. I'm afraid of the metal sound. Please don't kick it. Oh, the locker. I'm not being kicked. The noise is kicking me. Please don't kick. Please don't kick that metal fence, please. My body's getting cracked. I think my body's getting cracked. All the dirty, itchy, and painful things soak into those cracks, and the filth and prickling feel horrible. Soaking to my chest, gathering together. I desperately try to resist so that it won't touch my heart. The dirtiness and itching draw together more and more. My whole chest is soaked, and soon enough, my face will be swallowed. Even drowning in this dirtiness and itching, I try desperately to hold my breath so that at least my heart won't be soaked with it. Damn it! Is this all the people from the orphanage you're calling out to, or like... I can't hold my breath any longer. I drown in an ocean of muck, and yet, as I'm taking in the muck, my heart desperately struggles not to be tainted by it, to rise above it until my heart, too, sinks to the sea of grime. Only creatures that have lived on land will gasp and suffer the pain of drowning. They long to return to dry land. Creatures that have always lived in the ocean never drown. Grandpa won't come and help me. That is the best thing for me and him both. Oh, dear God. Oh. See? When I stop struggling, there is no more noise. I don't have to hear that scary metal noise. Is it a roar or a yell? I need to borrow strength to scream, to cry, in order to come back to the present world. My body's all sweaty. It feels dirty, itchy, and painful. It reminds me of that day. I can feel welt coming on as the sweat crawls down my skin. No, it's just a delusion. It can't be itchy, because all that is long over. I take a bath every day. I scrub my body until it turns raw and red. So not even the slightest drop of that horrible filth could possibly remain. Like, I can't even imagine now. I can't help it. I remember the filth. I can only get rid of it by scratching my arm so hard it leaves marks. Okay. I can't get rid of the itching. I can't get rid of the filth. Of course I can't. I'm a filthy existence. Grandpa should never save someone like me. Meeting me made him unhappy. I shouldn't have existed. I shouldn't have been born. I should have stayed inside that metal fence and spent my whole life there. I need to go back inside it. I should have never left. That place is where I belong. Corner me with that horrible metal noise. Crush me with that filth, itchiness, and pain. And then kill me. So I'll never meet Grandpa. Is that your wish? Yes. Much like those left behind the top of Babel's crumbling tower. Or Icarus. Unable to reach heaven only to fall. That's my final wish. Oh my good god. Bring me back into that metal fence. And give me back the fate that's suitable for my filthy existence. Oh my good god. No, stop. The wish of a liar will never come true. But I'm not a liar. You've spoken your true wish once. You have yet to realize that's your greatest wish. And I cannot grant that wish just yet. Are you saying that's the punishment we sinful humans face for challenging God? You should already know. The strength of your desires are what creates the future. You lack that strength. Are you saying I haven't tainted myself enough? Even the gates of hell remain shut for someone not fully committed like me? And that's why you go and try to do the plan to that extent then? You feel like you're not one way or the other just yet, and you feel like you have to commit to one side or the other? Oh my good god. That is... Oh my god, that's a lot of complexity then. Oh my good god. Oh my god. I wonder if she was actually talking about anyone else in the orphanage in those like censored spots, or just harkening back to, I guess, an old wish or like, you know, resolve or will she had before Nomura came along and I guess in a better way to put it here, tainted her, I guess, in a sense, or like actually truly manipulated her. Rika-chan, Sadako-chan, how are you feeling? It's eerie. As Akasaka warned me to be careful. Akasaka opened the door silently. How are you doing? It's bustling outside, huh? Yeah, I hope you rush inside and close the door behind you without anyone spotting you. I swear. Yeah, everyone's getting busy tomorrow for the festival. I brought some shade ice for you, courtesy of the refreshment stand committee. Oh my gosh, did they actually manage to get the fucking lemonade stand working again? They didn't spill over all over the place again? Let's have some of them. Let's have some. Thank you for that. I'll have some. Shade ice is the best. Watermelon and blue raspberry flavored are the best shade ice flavors, okay? Like slushies. They taste good. They're really good. Akasaka's wearing a t-shirt, but he's still drenched in sweat. Do you... Oh my good god. Like, is there no AC in here? I see that fan in the background there. Just turn it on. Open the fridge or something. All the windows have been shut, and you can't even open the curtains, so it's very hot inside. But even accounting for that, he's still sweating like mad. Turn the fan on, you. Ugh, look at how sweaty you are. Sure is hot in here. No, I was exercising a little. Okay, that will probably make things worse. Your heart rate is now even higher. Of course, I try to keep very quiet. I'm just staying prepared for anything. That's all. It makes sense still. A little exercise helps to refresh people. I'm sure you've been under a lot of stress the last few days. You must be mentally exhausted too. No, I'm used to this kind of thing. I really appreciate you bringing in some stuff. Mental stimulation. Akasaka smiled like a happy child as he ate the strawberry-flavored shade ice. Okay, no, that's a good flavor too. I swear if it was any other flavor besides those three I mentioned, then I would have a meltdown. And just destroy the shade ice. Throw it into the stove and just put on full blast in the flames. So has there been anything yet? Have you heard from Tomotaki-san? No, nothing yet. But Takana-san was saying she can't get a hold of him. That's right, he changed his hotel, huh? You think she's noticed something? No, I don't think she has. I told her he's probably just going around taking pictures. But it's only a matter of time before she becomes suspicious. There will be a strong wind soon one way or another. And to Eri, please be very careful. Yeah, of course. Oh, by the way, I just saw Oishi-san. He told me to tell you something. I explained the 48-hour operation to Akasaka-san. Akasaka-san seemed impressed with the notion, especially because I told him what came from the girls. Oh, you actually heard it from them. Okay, good, good. I was wondering if this entire time you guys weren't even communicating at all, and you coming to this to Sadako and Enrika, honestly, pretending to would make things weird, because I'm expecting at some point that if they go with that plan and some people hear about it, they'll probably then be suspicious of Eri then, because if people ask him questions about it more and more, and he says he visited them, and then they found out they've been dead for more than 2 days, then yeah, they'll be very suspicious of him first, and I actually don't know how they would take that new piece of information then, not just the villagers, but even the Tokyo headquarters themselves, honestly. I don't know how they would take that plan into consideration then. They're probably I don't know, they maybe think of something on the fly then, or just taking stride or something, or completely withdraw. I have no idea. Akasaka seemed impressed with the notion, especially just because I told him it came from the girls. That's a fantastic idea, actually. They'll shake our enemy up a bit. It'll give Tomotaki-san a big opportunity to find out something too. So when is the operation going to take place? That'll be decided when they meet with Oishi-san tonight. But since we don't have much time, and maybe as early as tomorrow morning. I see. It's pretty stressful just waiting for a battle to begin. If there is something we can do, we might as well just do it. Your time in Hinamizawa is limited too, How much longer can you stay? I told Yuki that I should be home by midnight on Sunday. If the situation changes, I might have stayed here longer. She's a policeman's wife. She'll understand. And she probably is used to it by now, especially what was in Chapter 4, honestly. In Summer 4 of literally just almost missing your wife's your wife having a kid. Yeah, unfortunately. You can't even call her from here, huh? I'm pretty sure if he makes one phone call, the whole operation will be ruined then. Temper love you. So to put you in this situation. No, don't worry. It's not like we're newlyweds. She won't divorce me just for not calling her every night. Although he says that, it's easy to tell that Akasaka-san wants to hear the sound of her voice. So have there been any changes on your end? If there's anything you need, I'll bring it. I really don't need anything yet. Any changes? Well, it's hard to say. There are just too many people going in and out for the festival. If there is someone suspicious among them, I can't tell. You're just like peeking at the blinds very subtly, but you can't. You just can't do that. We should assume our enemies are hidden among them, so we should be on our best guard. That sounds about right. By the way, Mountain Dogs are starting to move, just as you said. When I asked Okanogi about their plans, he said he's raising the security level for the days surrounding the festival to take into account the possibility that some criminal might use the 5th year of the curse to target Rika-chan. Now that's the situation right now. Most looks like all the preparations, officially and unofficially, are going smoothly for tomorrow's festival. So you're saying tomorrow is going to be a festival in more ways than one, then? If the 48-hour operation gets underway tomorrow morning, it'll be quite the turbulent day. Yes. Anything will change starting tomorrow. So, are they planning to, showcase, if Oishi goes to the plan, they're going to showcase them, Rika's quote-unquote been dead for, 2 days, on the day of the festival? That'll cause, quite a bit of a riot. That would definitely put things out of whack. But, are they planning to, go wait an extra 2 days for that? That sounds like it'd be almost too late, then. June 19th, 1983. Father's Day. A tempestuous day that divides a peaceful world from the tragic one. The fate of the world will change that day. That, or a certain abusive uncle apparently makes the way and changes the world just by mere presence. It's that whole divide thing. But yes, the festival does change the world drastically no matter what. I don't know what day it takes place on, but I swear. Like, will this festival take place on a Sunday or a Saturday from the sound of it? Like, I don't remember if they ever mentioned that, huh? I finished my secret meeting with Akasaka-san, and left while calling up to the second floor window, pretending to address the girls. Because now I'm just wondering, is it a better thing that the festival, like always ends the same exact day for Hinamizawa, and, that means the kids, have a day off from school, or, the day before, or that same day? Or, it's like how Father's Day and some holidays are, where, it's always in, a certain, what was it? Like, for Thanksgiving or something like that, it's, the last Thursday of a month or something like that. I wonder if it's going like that. Well, it better be on a goddamn weekday for the kids. When some villagers saw me do that, they asked how they were doing. They asked me about both girls, which made me very happy. What Oryo-san said yesterday has already spread among the villagers. In other words, the curse that Yoshiro-sama may have already lifted, even before tomorrow's festival. I mean, if they were both worried for both Rika and Sadako, emphasis on Sadako herself, then yeah, it's slowly lifting anyway. Nothing happens tomorrow. Those villages are finally free from the curse and the ghosts of the dam conflict. As we prepare for the upcoming battle, I realize the extent of the responsibility we've taken on. Yeah, it's a lot. At the same time, it gives me strength. Oh, hello. After greeting officials in the main tent, I ran to Takano-san as I head back to the clinic. She was banging her head against the operatory box for some reason. It's unusual for her to be here alone. If Tomataki-san was with her, I can understand, but she never come here by herself. For a moment, I thought maybe she suspected a connection between me and Akasaka-san. It doesn't seem that way. I'm relieved. This is unusual. What are you doing here? Nothing, really. I'm just taking a walk. I see. It's a nice day today. I bet it's a perfect day for taking a walk. I wonder if Jiro-san's taking a walk, too. Those words had a strange nuance to them. Takano-san normally only spends time with Tomataki-san out of politeness. At least that's how she's been acting. When I heard her say that, I was a little surprised. Maybe so. He's from Tokyo. I'm sure he's enjoying the fresh air and the beauty of Hinamizawa. Director, do you have an idea where Jiro-san went? No, I don't. He didn't come to the meeting last night. It's a good thing someone else was there to take his place, but he should have been there. He's neglecting his job, don't you think? And this is going the wrong direction. How to change the subject. Well, I'm sure he needed a little break. But he wanted to be alone. Just like you. Yeah, I can see that. I think that went well. She didn't ask about Tomataki-san after that. You almost hit the nail right in the head of what she was thinking about. Oh, good gosh. Oh, good god. Oh, good god. There was a lot of things in just her thoughts, honestly. They're like, oh my good god. Even that whole thing with perfect childhood being stuck in your brain. Like, I wish things never change, and this is my own perfect little world here. Like, nothing outside ever matters. Oh, good god. My fucking heart. When I look around, I can imagine how lavish the festival is going to be tomorrow. Nagashi is the biggest festival of the year around here. I swear the Okonomiya gardeners that are here, they better better find the best plants, honestly. The best plants. It's grown in scale ever since the dam conflict ended. And this year, the village festival is hitting a peak. I'm sure villagers of all ages will enjoy themselves tomorrow. Takano-san and I overlooked that heartwarming scene. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, it'll be fun. The conversation was very ironic. It was meant something different as we spoke. I can hardly wait for the festival to start. Yeah, a fun festival is about to begin. I noticed an indescribably bitter smile on her face. I'm hoping it'd be a nice day tomorrow. For all these preparations, it'll be a shame if it rains. They worked so hard to prepare for this grand festival. A little rain won't stop them. Unless it pours. That means the world has gone to shit then, apparently. Yeah, I guess. What is this amazingly upbeat music? Okay. There'll be a festival. Matter of the weather, huh? Yes. There'll be a grand festival. I'm sure of it. You said it with a lot more conviction. So how is the Demon Club taking their club meetings all the way to Mion's house? How's it going there? Oishi-san agreed to participate. Good! The manipulation tactic has worked! You have done good, Hanyo! In other words, he had given us the green light. Good job! I bet you had some difficulties. No, not really. They actually agreed pretty easily. First, when the question popped from your mouth, they had said immediately yes. Boy, how nice it is to be young. I was the only one who struggled to make a decision. Pitiful, huh? Like, no, like, even though the forensics person I'm assuming is way older than you, oh my good god, actually, from the sound of it, you were the one who was, like, planning about making a decision then, unless you're saying you're older than the forensics guy, which I'm, okay. We can't turn back anymore. I'll give it everything I have. Oishi-san was always a man with a great presence. He seems pretty reliable when he's that determined. This'll work. It's working to our favor, Hanyo. This operation will be a success. The enemy is unthinkably strong, but we're going the offensive first. It's like in sumo, right? No matter how huge the opponent may be, there's a chance the entire match can be settled in an instant with a quick stance during this opening rush. Hello. See, Rika? Doesn't it feel reassuring to have this many people on your side? I don't tend to refer to you anymore. Like, I can't say anything. I'm getting so much attention on me. I don't like this attention on me. I was almost ready to give up just a few days ago, but now I can't believe how much the situation has evolved. It might just be possible to change our fate after all. Because it's not good enough. It's already changed. Fate and destiny is bullshit. Say it loud with me. It's bullshit. Say it loud. You're right. I shouldn't say we might change our fate. We will change it. We will win. We will defeat fate. In any case, the timing of our trap is extremely important. What do you mean timing? We should act immediately, and I swear, every single time, I'm so used to Keiichi with that, with this normal white, like, you know, pin-up shirt outfit, school outfit on. Every time, I keep forgetting he has this red casual shirt. My good god. What do you mean timing? We should act immediately. Tonight, it will have been 40 hours since Rika-chan disappeared. The longer we wait, the better the position the enemy will be in, so we should act as soon as possible. That's true. If we get too careful, then that would give more time. Our defense ought to be cautious, but our offense ought to be bold. Exactly. If they don't expect anything bad, then might as well go all on the offensive strike on the first strike then. Huh, it's very reassuring to have both your seals of approval. Seals. So what about it, everyone? Yes, fucking, the fucking face is back. No objections. I still my resolve. I'm ready anytime. Is it time yet? What do you think, Sadako? You're the trap master, you should know exactly when to. We should go with haste, of course, but right now might be a little too hasty. So tomorrow in the festival instead, we fake a death just like every other time, but to our own advantage for good. If we are to surprise them, I think we should do it more carefully. A surprise attack should take place at night. Is there any better timing than now? Calm down, calm down. You're both right. Surprise attacks usually do happen at night. But look at us now. We're still up. You know it's that dark outside, right? Night attacks are more effective when there was no electricity. Nowadays, surprise attacks don't always have to take place in the middle of the night. So I'm due in the middle of the day. Induce terror and horror in the middle of the day. Higurashi does that really well in the early question arcs. My good gosh. There's an even better time than that. Wow, just wait another day. Is there really a better time for a surprise attack? Why not choose the day when they plan to do their first attack? Why not plan to, like, unveil it, like, right at the festival? Oh my god, before they have a chance to do anything. Eh? I understand. A day breaks shorter, right? Oh? You know something interesting, you know some interesting terms, don't you? It's true the worst time to call someone it's not in the middle of the night, but early in the morning. People can't even think straight when they're half asleep. Yay! A surprise attack at dawn. Yeah, that's a great time to do it. Just immediately blindside them on the day of the operation, no less. Yeah.
I think that'd be the most effective. No, Takano-san is. It's more than likely that she'll do something to make it look like the 5th year's curse. And she'll try tomorrow night. It's normal to try and get plenty of sleep the night before. Oh! I know now the perfect time to spring my traps. A surprise attack at dawn. Man, that sounds badass. I've always wanted to do something like that. I'm fired up. You're just like my man, Maebara-san. Does that mean the only man involved who isn't psyched? I thought you said you're determined. My, oh my. Your age has mitigated all your determination out of you. Alright, okay, just force into your system. Ready then? The 48-hour operation commences tomorrow dawn. The question is how they will react. We'll be confusing them, but once we see the response, we'll attack. Full force, no holds barred. This is a raid. Okay. As the leader of this club, I now decree the 48-hour operation is now in effect. We'll carry our task at 4 AM tomorrow morning. Sleep now. I'll get busy all of a sudden. All members should be ready for an immediate response. Prepare yourselves physically and mentally. And don't forget, the fate of Hinamizawa rides on this battle. The enemy's conspiracy can end up destroying this village. Huh. You're awfully calm for that. We'll never let that happen. Well, we'll see how the enemy will react. Will they become demons or serpents? Both are really cool. Meep. Maybe they'll become kittens. The cats. The cats are back. The ferocious tiger cats. Oh, how cute of them. My god. I don't think so. There's no way tigers would show weakness and become cute that easily, right? No. Something huge will happen for sure. They'll turn into lions. They'll turn into a 3-headed lion. It's like a little earthquake. One that's a forewarning of a huge tsunami. You're right. I feel that little earthquake too. I will create the huge tsunami, and either the village or the enemy will swallowed by it. We'll ride the huge wave for as long as we can. Don't buckle under the pressure, please. This 48-hour operation will be a shock to the enemy. They'll panic, their pace will be off, and they're guaranteed to slip up somehow. We don't know how they're going to slip up, but just knowing that they will, and preparing themselves to act gives us the full advantage. We're surrounding our enemies on this huge game board that is Hinamizawa. This game, this festival, will start with our siege. Come on, we're ready. Battle charge, battle cry. We're ready for June 19th, 1983. Hey, Rika? Have this many emotions ever gathered on this day? Actually, there are always this many emotions in this world. There are always countless numbers of them gathering this forgotten June 19th. We just never realized it because we always looked at this world subjectively. There's so many people in this world, and each of them has very important emotions. Those countless feelings are collecting together and giving shape to this world, this fragment. This many emotions. What kind of world will we see? What kind of fragment will be granted? Who will win? Takano or us? The time to find out is now. Let's open it. Let's open the door to June 19th of 1983. Okay, that's kind of nice. That's really nice. So they're planning to like just unleash quote-unquote Rika's death at 4 AM and what else from there? Just see how everything goes from there? The door to the 19th achievement. Preparation is complete. Huh. Okay, then. Again, like, the entire thing with Takano, like, I guess, talking about it and comparing her struggles to the story of the Tower of Babel, that was a very intriguing way to showcase that all off. Huh. Like, I think it's the first time she were, like, sort of doubting the whole fact of, where she, like, was putting her life down on. And, she already feels conflicted about it now for the first time, actually. Don't know, it's just because of what, she's, like, recalling everything that happened before in the other timelines in some case, or just, really just noticing how everyone is now a bit off around her. That, she doesn't really realize they're going against her, but now she's just realizing that, she's wondering how she's handling herself and how she's behaving around people, honestly. maybe that's what it's going towards. Maybe that's what it's going towards to here. At least she has that little data brain. At the very least, though, I don't know. I don't think Takano's gonna like. I don't know if Takano will be the one to react and change the plan on the fly because, in the sound of it, she literally got the entirety of her plan from Nomura, and who right now we literally don't know anything about, besides just she's planning to use to alter her agenda, nothing else. So literally if we have a one note villain anywhere in this midst right now, it's Nomura, whatever her first name is, whatever her first name is. So huh. Yeah. Well, their motive is actually to just well, purely just to get power and all that, or like I wonder if like she actually like was close to Koizumi at all, or just trying to use that mantle just to get like just to manipulate Takano. It's not entirely clear in that front if that's what she's like going for. She's like saying all those empty words just to appeal to Kano, especially in her vulnerable state by this point because of all that. Just putting all your eggs in one basket and just realizing someone's taking hammer to just that one like basket, honestly. Yeah, yeah, instead of just spreading them out, honestly. Hmm. Still, like we haven't like again, I mentioned like noticed several times before. Like besides that, Takano like literally only focused only entirely on her grandfather's research, honestly, and absolutely nothing else. And whether like she actually like entertained and humored like Tontaki going those dates just because she actually cared at least in some measure. It sounds like she does in some measure, but like she's only starting to realize it now, or just she's only like she actually is interested in like Tontaki and like bird photography. Hmm. Besides that, like that's the only time she ever like entertained even a small hobby. Even outside of that, she never talks about it. And besides that, every kind of hobby she has, all just links back to increasing her research in some capacity and not much else. Like, sure, it like gives her purpose, but honestly, when it comes to this level, and yeah, nothing else to fall back on, then it'll be very, very a distressing time, honestly. You have absolutely nothing to fall back on. It's probably better just like spread things out or like have a support group anyway. And now that feels like and that's probably where the whole conversation of her talking about like wanting to get a protector honestly comes into play. The whole thing, like she had some horrible times growing up, and the whole human thing of like wanting to have connection, and even that remote feeling of I like that she wishes that someone actually in some way actually argue with her instead of agreeing with her all the time, or like playing niceties and actually like try to talk to her like earnestly in some capacity instead of like doing these like little dancing games, honestly, that she's been so used to all her life, honestly, even from an early age, that she had to entertain because of her position and what she wanted to do. It's just she's literally just probably like the one character who's just a walking, talking tragedy, honestly, of any one of them. Well, well, the rest like the friend group, like Keiichi and Rika, Sadako, Mion, Reina, like all, like if they all do mistake and they go about things like in a bad way, like they go along with their like if they like those other installments go, like there are small mistakes or what things they decide not to talk about or like discuss upon or act upon becomes those flaws become a giant tragedy later on to her from what that happened, like again with the whole thing of like why she's fixating on thing of God and the power of fate and destiny, honestly, like that and getting repeated bouts of bad luck and just the feeling that there's no such thing as good luck or anything like that. It's always just tests and like God is testing her. It makes a lot of sense, not just from her parents dying, from the orphanage, then the brief happiness in her life with her grandfather, but then realizing about the fact that now feels like some other people are like literally trampling over like grandfather's like passion and happiness, honestly, and then trying to uplift that, like because she doesn't want anyone else to feel that way, and taking it all the way up to her, all the way with her until she grows up to be like a grown woman. Yeah, it all makes sense, and it's like a living tragedy, honestly, because of that. Hmm. At least she seems like she's learning a tiny bit on her own anyway. Even though besides that, like she's actually just learning about it all on her own from the looks of it, which is the one thing which I do like a lot because like that's what the story is meant to like focus in on about the whole time loop stuff and people slowly learn about their mistakes over and over again. But to me, it kind of just feels like the whole thing of like they all remembered stuff from their past lives instead of learning from mistakes like right there in the moment. Which I know this is what the story focuses on, but that's the thing that's in the back of my mind. And it looks like the Kano from the looks of it, like unless it's like some lines there hinting that she's learning and remembering things from the past time loops. It just looks like she's learning all this on her own, just from how people are reacting, responding, and behaving around her just now, and she's actually just like reflecting on that really just all right now and no other time else. Like I think she falls in the class of that character who in the moment just by herself, maybe like a bit of influence from other people, but all with herself, she's actually like trying to improve or like try to think things over. Hmm. It's actually very interesting to see. I'm kind of curious to see how that goes from here, honestly. It's definitely going to come down to when they actually, confront her. And maybe based on her reaction goes from when the plan instigates and, like, initiates at 4 a.m., like, the next day, maybe we'll see exactly, I guess, how she's feeling the moment. I can probably imagine she'll be like, if it was any other time, she'll probably be very aggravated. I'm now just wondering if, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if she'd be very aggravated about it, but like, I'm wondering how she will react because usually when people like, there's a whole thing about I heard that there's a few phrases going around that when you're dealing with great stress and how you act in the moment is tend to be like how you really feel and how you're putting your thoughts to the absolute forefront. That's how you really and truly are acting in that moment. So I'm kind of curious to see how she reacts to it, whether she thinks the things on the fly or like goes to Nomura or like tries to ask for help from Tomataki or any like Eri or anything that happened so far. Because this is gonna be the whole thing where if she like tries to play out the whole thing of like lying like about the whole plan thing, and she actually goes to Eri to ask for like reassurance or help, its capacity even just I just to like make sense of what happened. It'd be kind of interesting to hear the conversation because even with Erie's conversation with Takano, even like in passing, where like when they were eating together, like after Erie learned about everything, and even just now, even that small conversation, even though like absolutely nothing happened, it was really just him diverting attention from Takano learning and catching on to things, and then just slyly and just coyly like just saying wow, the festival tomorrow is gonna be fun, isn't it? And both of them having that like that's sort of like very veiled conversation where they mean something completely different. They talk like those conversations are honestly so fun to me right now, so fun to me right now, and definitely the highlight with them Oishi and Akane actually talking a bit more. Now I really want to rewatch and when Akane and Oishi like talked in the Sonozaki house when they're all like trying to track down and find Reina, because it's definitely mirroring, echoing that, honestly. It's actually the most intriguing thing just to see it all coalesce together, honestly. And I'm just wondering, actually, I'm actually now wondering, actually, something bad's gonna happen at the very end, actually, because as we all know, for every single installment, it ends with like someone dying in some sense, or like, is the epilogue gonna be the change of that rule? Since even though it's a separate installment entirely still like just that, but it has epilogues like stories, honestly. Well, there's just like it adds on to the ending of this installment and like goes goes the whole thing of see how they are now, and like I've seen many people say the like who are fans of Higurashi say they think it's like the true epilogue to Higurashi. And now this makes me curious again of what did this installment do that that the epilogue like has, and now I'm just immensely curious. But it's gonna take a bit of a time to reach to that point. But I guess we'll see how things will go for their plan of action, to see how everyone's gonna react, how Tokyo, Okinonogi, the gardeners, how even Nomura's gonna act. Guess we'll see how everyone reacts to that. All for next time. So, hope a fun time watches as I am playing this. Hope to see you next time, the time that may be. And I hope you have a fantastic day.